Hello friend, welcome. I am going to be doing a 10-minute exercise today, or 10-minute piece of art, and I've already got everything set out. I am challenging myself this week because I wanted to do something that I normally don't do. Like, these are my fun go-to colors, right? These are some 10-minute exercises I've done in the past. Here you can see some colors that I've been working towards that are more challenging for me, not my usual colors. Bright colors there, more muted colors, more earthy, I should say. All right, so today I'm kind of going in that same kind of pushing myself out of my comfort zone and going with some more of the more earthy colors. And so what I did was I picked quinacridone purple and yellow ochre. So those are the two that I'm going to work with. And then of course my black and white as well. And I've got all those laid out here. I've got my water just slightly off the camera so that it doesn't reflect. I've got my phone set up here. Hopefully I won't be getting messages while we're doing this, but I've got it set up for 10 minutes. And all right, so I'm going to dive right into this and get started. This is a 6 by 6 inch and it is on watercolor paper. I don't like watercolor paper, so again, out of my comfort zone, I'm trying to use up this paper. I cut it down to 6 by 6 and I'm using the side that isn't as lumpy. I call it lumpy bumpy. It's the more smooth side. All right, let's get started. I've got my mark making over here, and I'm going to use some colors that are not here just so I can sneak in some color, my little cheating way of doing that. So let me just add a few here. How about some orange? Okay, good enough. Let's go into, I like to go right into my black. So let's add some of that. And I'm doing a really thin layer of paint because I don't have much time on the clock. And so I want to get through this process as much as possible. And I got to do that by allowing these thin layers so that it dries very quickly and I can move on. Okay, we'll call that good. I've got a few different brushes here. I'm going to wet this one. All right, let's get right into mixing up. Ooh, purple. Nice. Okay, add a little bit more of that quinacridone. Oh, let's see. What are my go-to circles? We all have our go-tos, right? I've been trying to break out of that a little bit, trying to stay a bit looser. All right, I'm going to go right into the ochre now. See what I can get with that. Kind of a, kind of an interesting reddish color, kind of like a rust color. I don't know that I like that. I'm going to come over here and let's just lighten that up, make it more of an ochre color. Make some marks through here. I just got back from Croatia last week, so today is actually my first day back in the studio since early January. How crazy is that? Today is today's my mom's birthday, so it is February 21st. Happy birthday, Mom. And it's good to be back in the studio. It's been way too long being away. Now, when I was in Croatia visiting my parents, I do have a little studio set up there so that I can create art while I am visiting with them, which to me is just fantastic. How are we doing on time? All right, I'm trying to get a variety of marks through here and colors as well. I'm really loving this grayish color. How about we add some right in here? Something like that. I've got a toothpick over here. I feel this need to scratch into that. Let's make some scratch marks. Okay. I often go to my corners when I don't know where else to go, so let's fill in some corners here. There we go. white, maybe somewhere in here. Now I've got these larger elements through here, and I just kind of obliterated some of them, didn't I? I need to bring that back. Let's come over here. I'm going to wet my brush a little bit, and let's try to bring some of this back in. Oh, I don't like that color. All right, see, this is my challenge. These are not colors I normally would use, and so it's kind of, for lack of better words, some yucky colors in there. Oh, now this one I like, this kind of a soft pastel-y purple. It's really pretty. Just adding some white to that. I love how you just add a little bit of white in it. Changes that hue or that tint. Forget my technical terminology. But it lightens or darkens, and it just looks fantastic when you've got, you know, these different gradients of color happening. Let's go into the dark color. I do have some dark in here. I really like that. Let's add some gray right down in here. My brush feels really dry, so put that back in water. I don't want it too wet because then my paint's too wet and it's not going to dry fast enough for me. And I don't like that. All right, so I've got some larger stuff happening here. I'm going to clean off my brush. You know what? Let's switch to the rigger. And I want something even lighter to happen in here. Let's see, what shall that be? Maybe come in with some nice thin lines like this. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. And I love fields of flowers and stems and trees and nature. So my artwork represents those shapes the way I see them. I like lightening that up so that it's not so bold on there. Okay, it's kind of coming together. I want to maybe add something lighter down here. Although I do like the, I'm going to do the ochre kind of almost straight out of the jar, so to speak. I know I have a little bit of color on this brush, but I often don't like to work straight out of the jar or out of the tube, whatever you're using, because I really like to harmonize my colors, and that requires mixing them with other colors. But sometimes when I have such a limited palette, I have to use it as one of my options, one of my color options. Okay, and see, these colors are too similar, and that's going to bother me. So even with as little time as I have, let's do this brush. I'm going to come back in and just lighten this up a bit because I don't want it to be an exact color. All right, what else can I do? I want to save a little bit of time to come in with some final mark making at the very end. So I'm going to keep an eye on the clock there. I think I want to come in with another layer over here. Oh, and I could be making green, right? How about I come in with, it's not quite green, but it's pretty. I could be taking this and making a green, but I don't want to overdo it. See, I'm overdoing it. Let's come back in here. Well, it's kind of a greenish color. How about I put it down in here? That's pretty. I like that. You know, I'm not opposed to neutrals. I really do love neutrals. But, you know, I go with my true love, which is the brighter colors. They just, there's something about them that just brings me so much joy. Let's add some tiny marks over here. All right, we're down to 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to come back in with a little bit more of just white, I think, with whatever's on my brush. I'm going to come in here, just lighten it up a little bit more through here. I like the lighter values. Now you could do lighter values with other colors. It doesn't have to be white, but I tend to gravitate towards white with just a touch of some color in it. It's not always the pure white. Okay, all right, we're down to 140. You know what? I'm going to dry this really quick while I'm looking over here to see what kind of marks I want to make. Let's see, I'm going to grab that and some black. All right, I'm not seeing, let's start with the pencil. So let's come in here and I just want to make some final marks on this. You know, it's been a couple of weeks. You know, my last week in Croatia was about a week and a half ago, and I don't do a whole lot of art that last week because I'm busy doing stuff around the house, helping out, cleaning, organizing, and it doesn't give me a whole lot of time to do stuff. Okay, I'm going to come in with this just to add a little zing of color. All right, love that. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, I'm really coming down to the final. I don't know. I don't know if I like all those marks. Maybe I'll just soften them out a bit. I do like that. I'm going to come in with this dark blue, maybe just some circles over here. All right, I'm really coming down to my last few minutes. I'm going to soften that out a bit, like that. Okay, and how about some orange? Where can I add some orange? Just down here. Oh, I should have done my scribbles. That's what I should have done. Okay, that's it. Goes by fast, right? All right, let's turn that off, and let's turn that off. All right. Okay, you know, I tend to work better when I take a break from creating art. And certainly with my travel schedule this past week and getting back home last Saturday, it's now Friday, the following Friday. So I've had a week, and then before that, it was probably 5 days before I created anything. So a couple of weeks, and I really I feel more fresh and I feel more in the flow when I take a break from creating art. And I feel like this piece reflects that, where I wasn't, you know, I didn't feel stuck at all. You know, I was moving right through it, and I'm really happy with these colors. Again, not my usual colors, but I love how many colors we can make just using those two. Let me show you this up close. I love my orange scribbles in there. And I mean, look at the layering. In 10 minutes, we can get so much done if we don't think about what we're doing. And it certainly helps for me to talk, because it kind of forces me not to think about what I'm doing and just do. There we go. So I'm going to set it aside. You know, am I 100% like super happy with it? At this moment, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I do love it. I love the way it came together. I love that I've got some dark areas and some light areas. I've got a variety of different marks. I was actually able to get like 2 layers of color here, which I love creating that depth. I've got some scratches into here that just makes the piece a bit more interesting. I feel like that teal color or that blue-green color coming in just adds a little bit of a fun touch to it, and it complements, I think, the purple so well. Yeah, so that's how I'm feeling about the piece, and love doing these 10-minute exercises. Let me know in the comments below if you have been trying doing these. Are you doing them with me? And also, if you've got some suggestions for colors that are kind of difficult to work together, let me know down below, because I love these challenges of working with colors that I normally don't, and colors that you think normally would not go together. There is a way to harmonize them and make them work. So anyway, so appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in the next video. All right, take care and have a super fabulous and creative day.